In this video, the final video of my Lake District series, I am photographing at Crummock Water, and I show that often you may have to go back to a location more than once to get the lighting and conditions that you'd hoped for.
So this is a continuation of my Lake District series that I'm doing. I'm up in the Lake District for a week, and today I'm at Crummock Water, the northern end of the lake here, and we've come past the weir. I've got some quite nice shots of the weir, but here I'm actually been photographing this mountain with the lake in front of it. This is the northern end of the lake, and at the moment the water has been almost like a mill pond, so that enables me to get some beautiful reflections in the water. The light's actually gone on the mountain now, but a quarter of an hour ago it was absolutely beautiful, and I managed to get some really good shots. I'm using the OM1, the 12 to 40 2.8. I'm stopping down to f8. f8 is usually the aperture that I like to do sort of landscapes, seascapes, that sort of thing in. And I'm shooting ISO 200, and I've got about 1 second exposure. I'm varying it slightly. Some I'm doing at half a second, some I'm doing at 1 second, some I'm doing at 1.6. The big advantage of Live ND is that I can change the values of the actual sort of ND quite quickly. But it's absolutely been fantastic here with the lighting. I think it's probably gone now by the looks of things for the rest of the day. But I've actually I had a polarizer on the front, and that helps to really saturate the colours. I've also got 2 ND grads on there, soft edge grads. One is a 0.9 grad and the other one is a 0.3 grad, and that's just holding the detail at the top there, just sort of getting some nice detail in the sky. It's always difficult with grads when you've got a mountain, because it's going upwards and it's not sort of flat horizon where grads really work. With soft edge it's not too bad, and certainly the pictures so far have looked very nice indeed. So what I'll do is I'll carry on taking pictures, and hopefully the light might improve. So I've hung on for another 10 minutes or so, and I don't think the lights, it's now gone behind that mountain over behind me, so there won't be any more light on there. So what I'm going to do is go around looking for different compositions. I have found some really nice viewpoints at this end of the lake. I've never been to the north end of the lake before. About 4 years ago I went and did the south end of the lake and got some quite good pictures there, but this I think is more photogenic, and certainly at this time of the year when all the trees are turning that beautiful golden coloration, they can look spectacular. There's quite a pleasant walk through the wood, about 10-minute walk from the car park through the wood there, and at this time of the year the trees have turned that lovely golden coloration, so I've got some quite nice shots there. So what I'm going to do is pack up for now and wander around there and see if I can find some other pictures. Come up here, it's the second week of November, and this morning I've come to the north end of the lake at Crummock Water, and the lighting today has been absolutely fantastic. We've had beautiful blue skies and clouds. Came a couple of days ago and the light again was really good. I had more clouds then, a little bit too much blue sky really, but the big advantage of the sunshine is that it does really bring out those beautiful autumn colours. Trees and everything in the background really being beautifully reflected in the actual lake. You can probably see it from there. So the camera I'm using is the OM1 again, and the 12 to 40. I'm shooting at ISO 200 and I'm getting about 160th of a second. The water's like a mill pond at the moment. It's as flat as calm as hell, so I don't really need to use a longer exposure to actually get that flat calmness there. But the light at the moment is fantastic. It won't last for that much longer actually. It's just starting to go down behind that mountain over there, and I've probably got about, I would say, another half hour's light before it actually goes. Now we got to this particular spot about an hour ago, and there's a very small tree over there that's actually sort of in the actual water. I suppose most people who come to the Lake District will go to do the lone tree at Buttermere. This one isn't photographed anywhere near as much, and I actually think it's a prettier tree. It's actually sort of it's just sort of a little bit into the water. I've got Wellington boots on so I can wade into it very, very easily. And the light's gone on it now, but earlier on, about an hour, half an hour ago, the light actually on it was stunning. And of course you've got all those mountains in the background, and it really did look spectacular. So we've been going around this lake, keeping to the north end, and finding lots and lots of different compositions, viewpoints and things like that. It's important when you're doing landscape photography that you don't sort of stay in the same spot. You change around, look for different viewpoints and things like that. Also take pictures in landscape and portrait format, and that's what I've been doing today. So what I'm going to do is take a few more pictures. We'll see how we're getting on, and probably I'll move down to the bottom part of the lake. But you can't actually see it very well actually in this video, but over on the far side of the bank there's a little hut there. And using the 40 to 150 plus the 1.4 converter, I can zoom in on that and get the beautiful reflections of all the trees in the stillness of the water, and it looks really spectacular. So I'll carry on, as I say, take a few more and we'll see what we get.
There are plenty of photographic viewpoints around the northern end of Crummock, and as we returned to the car park, I again took some more images both in and around the weir and the north shoreline. As the water on both occasions was like a mill pond, it did enable me to get shots looking down towards the south end of the lake, with the clouds and mountains reflected in the water. The shoreline area at the north end of Crummock looked particularly beautiful. The leaves on the trees had turned that golden colour that you get at the beginning of November as winter approaches. We had timed this year's visit to coincide with the autumn colours, and we were not disappointed. Although the area near the weir is very photogenic, you will need a wide-angle lens in order to get a pleasing shot of the water as it cascades down. If you do not want to include the weir's brick wall in your image, you will need to have the camera position quite high, with the lens pointing down. This is where a wide-angle lens comes to the fore. I did initially try the 12mm end of the 12 to 40mm lens, but I found that I had to use the 8mm end of the 8 to 25 to get the weir as well as the mountain in the background. This shot was taken using the 40 to 150 f2.8 plus the 1.4 converter. I liked the way the light was just catching the tops of the trees as well as the mountains in the background. Fortunately, someone stood near the edge of the lake, and this gave a sense of scale in the picture. The small hut on the far side of the lake was a nice focal point for photographing with the long lens, and the trees all around it looked stunning as they were reflected in the calmness of the water. When I photographed the tree, I needed to walk a few feet into the lake to get the best viewpoint. Although it was quite shallow, I was glad I had Wellington boots on. I made the mistake of wading in and taking the pictures before I had waited for the ripples to subside. On looking at the images when I got back to the cottage, I was annoyed with myself for making such a stupid mistake. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to be notified of future uploads. Also, feel free to write or ask questions in the comments. I always try to reply to any of the questions or points that are mentioned. Thanks for watching.